Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Jason Williams, and I'm with my tag team partner, Blake Castetter, and we are the Sunday Fun Day guys. Blake, episode 51, but we continue our 2025 position rankings with wide receivers and tight ends.
Yep, but if you haven't listened to episodes 2 through 5, this is episode 6 for the season. If you haven't listened through 2 through 5, you got to get back into that. If you got a draft coming up, you got league winners, got the late lates, QBs and running backs. Make sure you check them out so you're prepared for your draft.
Yeah, no question. We give you some juicy tidbits to say the least. Man, how about the last couple hours in the NFL? Woo! Man, we don't get too many trades like we just had a couple hours ago, buddy.
2 first-round picks and a player.
A Pro Bowl player.
Yeah, not just any player.
Not just some schmo off the street.
The Cowboys fans are not happy.
How about the city of Dallas in like 8 months? Lost their 2 best players in basketball and football.
Yep.
Woo. So if you didn't know, Fanatics, Micah Parsons has been traded to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first-round picks and a defensive tackle. His name escapes me, Blake. I can't remember his name. But nonetheless, Jerry, Micah, the saga is over. We've been hearing about it for weeks. It's become nauseating. We knew Jerry wasn't going to budge, and we knew Micah wasn't going to budge. So next best thing is to get Micah to another team and get some draft capital for the next couple years.
We knew something was going to happen. Once Trey signed,
Yep.
You knew that they were going to follow suit.
Yeah. Yep. Interesting. Well, now, how does that affect? Well, I think that affects Dallas big time in terms of, man, that defense, whoo, they are not going to be good.
And, that Dak Prescott rating just
yes,
up. You're going to be airing it out.
A lot of passing in Big D this year. And Big D will not be big defense.
No, it does not.
Well, here we are. We've gone through the
episode.
Yeah, we've gone through the quarterbacks and we've gone through the running backs. We had some very interesting
debates,
rebuttals, facts, topics, stats. We covered the whole basis. We went back and forth, and we hope you got a lot out of it. So we're hoping for the same with the wide receivers and tight ends, which, we'll see what happens. I think we got some juicy stuff with these guys.
Some of your picks are crazy again. I don't get
it.
I
love it. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Let's
jump right in. Wide receivers.
Okay.
So we'll base it off yours again, just like yesterday. We are in agreement with Jamar Chase and JJ at 1 and 2. Kind of a no-brainer. The first disagreement lands with number 3, though. You've got Amon-Ra St. Brown at 3, and I've got him all the way down at 8.
Woo!
That Ben Johnson effect, I'm telling you.
I don't think it's going to be that big. I'm telling you. Well, Amon has been Mr. Consistency, Blake. 100 catches, 1,100 yards, 3 straight seasons. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. Warren's top 5, top 3 status. Yeah. I know Ben Johnson is gone. We've talked about this. Will there be an effect? I don't think so. And again, the reason I don't think so is because of their head coach. And I know the offensive and defensive guys run the show. But at the end of the day, again, I'm hitching my wagon to Dan Campbell. Could there be a slight drop-off in Amon? Potentially. But I still think the Lions are going to toss it all over the field. Yes, their schedule is harder. Yes, they lost some linemen. But I can't see them with the type of coach that they have missing a beat. As I said, for Jerry Goff, I think the beat goes on with the Lions offense. And in my opinion, that means top 5 wide receiver status for Amon. Book it.
So you think it's the same as last year?
I think it's the same as last year.
I can't get down with that, dude.
Okay. Well,
how? So last year, 8.5% of his targets he scored on.
Okay. Right.
Do you know what it was the previous 3 years?
What was it?
4.9.
All right.
He doubled his touchdown to target ratio. There is no way that's sustainable.
We'll see.
No chance.
Okay, what is his ADP? Can I ask you that question?
He might be. I don't have it in front of me. Let's see. I can pull it up real fast.
No, I got it right here. Let's
Oh,
see.
you know. Then why you ask it?
I just thought you would have it available, my man. I just thought you would have it available. ADP, according to Fantasy Footballers, is that what we're going by?
I don't know. I pulled up Fantasy Pros.
Okay.
ADP number 7.
Okay. Fantasy Footballers has him at number 4. So we are right in line with what I think and what you think. So I've made my point. You come with it.
I gave it to you.
I know you're going to give me all this regression. I think that's your favorite word: regression.
I just don't see him. I see the catches and I see the yards. 100 yards and 1,100 yards and 100 catches. Awesome. Last year, the big jump for him was his touchdowns. I don't think it's sustainable. And I think that also happens to Jameson Williams. And we'll get into that when we get there too.
So what about Gibbs?
At some point, one of them has to give. You can't have number three, and what'd you have? 15. And all of these extreme spikes and touchdowns, somewhere it has to give. There's going to be a regression in their offense. They're not going to be the same.
Okay. Maybe it's Gibbs.
It could be Gibbs. Then we're both wrong. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be through the air, and both of the receivers are going to take a step back.
Fair enough. All
right. So moving on. In Dallas, we have CeeDee Lamb at number 4, Nico Collins at number 5, Brian Thomas Jr. at 6, Puka at 7, and then you've got Malik Neighbors at 8, and I have Malik Neighbors at 4. Malik Neighbors, I mean, he had his breakout as a rookie, right? There's no doubt. He had his breakout. Great numbers, 109 catches, 1,200 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Averaged 11.3 targets per game last year. And he did this with who? Daniel Jones in 10 games, Drew Lock in 5, and Tommy DeVito in 2.
Right.
The most inconsistent QB play possibly ever. So for me, that's a true testament to his skill/talent and his playmaking ability. So if we're looking ahead to 2025 now, Giants brought in Russell Wilson. You know the Moon Ball, right? Cool. Already an upgrade year over year. Quarterback play, even with an aging Russell Wilson, has improved. Then they drafted Jackson Dart. And I'm going to go on a limb and say, based on what I saw in the preseason, he's going to be the starter by midseason. Another QB upgrade. So if the Giants can just take a step forward in their offense, I see him pushing 1,400 yards, getting more red zone opportunities, and in turn, an increase in touchdowns.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Okay. Sounds great, man. Did you wake up from that dream?
Ooh. I don't know what you're seeing that I'm not.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing, because the thing you told me about Mr. Achane yesterday, I'm going to tell you about Neighbors. He's hurt. He's got toe, shoulder, and back tightness. Bro, come on. That is cause for concern. A toe and a shoulder for a wide receiver, you're not concerned about that at all. Are you?
It was the preseason. He's projected to start week 1.
Crickets, folks, crickets. He didn't say nothing, because he gave the same argument for Achane that I'm giving him now. Right? Listen, I love Malik Neighbors. I think I look, 170 targets in back-to-back years. You talk about the Lions and their regression. You can't tell me there won't be any type of regression with Mr. Neighbors.
He's not getting 170 targets.
Okay, right?
He's going to be more efficient. He's got quarterbacks. He doesn't need 170 to achieve what he did.
Okay, you pin your eggs in Russ's basket right now? I mean, okay, yeah, he might be better than the other 3, but ain't that much difference, in my opinion. So, again, I believe the 170 targets, 34.9 target share. Come on. Again, you're saying that I'm telling you the same thing you told me, right?
Unsustainable.
Right? Unsustainable. We're going to find out. I just don't think it. And again, he's going to be great, but he's not number 4. He is number 8, still in the top 10, still will produce, has a better quarterback, has a better surrounding cast. I think the difference is the Giants are being more games. There are a lot of blowouts last year because they just weren't good. I think they're going to be much improved. I think their defense will be better. Therefore, the games will be tighter and maybe not as apt to throw it 30 times because that's not Russ's game. And Dable knows that. You're not throwing the ball 30 times with Russell Wilson. They had no choice last year.
We shall see.
We shall see.
I don't know if the offense is going to be that much better that they're in that many games that there won't be shootouts. They do have a good D line though.
They'll be better. They won't be in a lot of shootouts. They'll keep it close. And then if that's the case, what kind of script are you having? Russell's going to throw his moon balls. I get it, but I would assume their line's going to be better, and that's another caveat. The line was not very good last year, so kudos to Neighbors. What if they're the same this year? There's a lot of. Again, he's hurt. He hasn't practiced, and there's just a lot of question marks behind the Giants. But we'll find out about the Giants early on.
I mean, with this news too, I might bump that CeeDee Lamb up to number 3.
Oh yeah, that changes the game a little bit.
But we had these rankings established before this breaking news came out. We definitely did not adjust.
No.
All right, so following Neighbors, we have Drake London at 9, A.J. Brown at 10, T at 11, Ladd at 12, Mike Evans at 13. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. at 14. And then you have Jameson Williams at 15.
Mm-hmm.
I've got him all the way down at 21.
That's a big difference.
Like I said, another receiver in the Detroit offense that I am not a believer in reaching his ADP.
So as much as you are a believer in the Chargers offense, I'm a believer in the Lions offense. Again, I don't think anything changes. If anything, I think his target share goes up, meaning Jameson Williams. I think they will make a concerted effort to get him the ball. He will definitely score more touchdowns than he did last year. I think, what did he have?
7?
7. I think he approaches double digits in touchdowns. And I still think he gives them the best opportunity for explosive plays. Now, again, a lot of that was due to Ben Johnson, but come on, at some point, why are you're not going to rearrange the whole offense when it's worked for the last 2 or 3 years just because you got a new coordinator? So that's why I think everything's going to stay the same. Now, if they lost some pieces, yep, they lost some pieces on the offensive line, but I don't see any reason why they won't pick right up where they left off. I sound like a broken record, but I don't see it. Could there be some drop off in Amaron? Yeah, there could be some drop off, but if there's a drop off with him, there's a boost with Jameson Williams. Somebody's got to catch the balls.
So for me, it starts with Jared Goff.
Right.
I think the drop off is there, and that carries over to both wide receivers and the tight end. I don't think he has another career year.
Maybe not career, but close.
That being said, I don't think his touchdowns go up. I think his touchdowns go down. 7's a fair number, but they can't maintain their pace. Like we talked about earlier with Amon-Ra. I mean, you have Gibbs at RB3. He scored on 6.6% of his touches. That's 50% higher than 2023. Amon-Ra scored on 8.5% of his touches. That's almost double his career average. Something has to give on the touchdowns, and I think it's going to happen with the wide receivers. I think Jared Goff is going to come back down to reality. The Lions offense is still going to be good. It's still going to be an offense you want to be a part of. I just think the rankings are a little too high for my wallet.
All right. Fair enough. Man, we're going to be watching the Lions and Chargers like a you know what.
I will not have a lot of shares in any of these guys, any Lions.
Okay.
They're just going too high.
You're not drafted any Lions?
I would love to, but I'm not going to. I haven't been in a position to, or they're too rich for my blood where I'm at.
All right. Fair enough.
So if I'm at 5 or 6, I don't see myself taking Amon-Ra, and it's too late to take Gibbs.
Gotcha.
And on the turn, probably not going to take Williams in the second round.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he's borderline
third round.
Third round, yeah. Second round for sure. I mean, he's the number 2 receiver there.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Man, we got it. I can't wait till next weekend. And open the season. Those opening games are going to be crazy. There'll be a lot of texting back and forth. A lot of texting back and forth.
Do you remember screenshots? That's
Oh,
right.
we don't listen. I know you won't forget, and you know I won't forget. So we don't even have to do screenshots, buddy. None of
So
that.
next on the list, you got Tyreek Hill at 17 or 16. Tyreek Hill at 16. The most disappointing player besides CMC last year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You have him in
Oh,
at
yeah.
wide receiver 16.
And I remember we was taking last year. We were talking ADP. He was top 5.
Yeah, 1 in a lot of cases. 2, 3.
Right. Yeah. I think I took him at 3, and I got burned big time. Big time. I see a drop off with Tyreek, but man, I can't see him falling off the cliff. Now, no wide receiver is tied more than his quarterback's availability, and Tyreek is to Tua. There's no question about it. No Tua, no Tyreek. So if Tua's healthy, I feel like 16 is where he should fall. If Tua's not healthy, then your 26 looks pretty good. But I'm hedging my bet that Tua will play a significant amount of the season. Therefore, Tyreek Hill would get the targets and the catches. Now, again, they lost the tight end, Jonnu Smith, was a big part of that offense. They don't have him anymore. And we got Darren Waller. I mean, we don't know how that's even going to pan out. Has Tyreek Hill lost a step? Possibly, but he's still one of the scariest wide receivers in the NFL. Yes. Yes.
No.
You ask a safety if they're nervous about Tyreek Hill, come on. I guarantee you they'll be like, yeah, we have some druthers about Tyreek Hill still. He still can run. He's just
he's 31, right?
Yeah, I know he's 31. So
and 32 is the cliff.
That's what you say.
And that's where they drop off. Or has he already dropped off?
A little bit.
I'm thinking he has. I think the drops happened.
I think he lost a step. I think when you're that fast, it takes a little bit longer to fall off the cliff.
He didn't hit 1,000 yards last year.
Oh, not even close.
First time since 2019.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just not explosive anymore. He only had 306 yards after the catch in 2024 compared to 690 in 2023.
Big difference.
Age is definitely catching up too. Played through a wrist injury last year, and he's already banged up this year with an oblique injury.
Yeah.
I can't.
Still think he's. I mean, I got him at 16. What's his ADP? It's right around there, right?
Probably.
Okay, well, I'm not that far off. You're not. I mean, I get it. Last year he was a dud. I get it, but I don't think the drop off is going to be that significant. Will he? From a guy that was 3 to a guy that's 16, I think that's a big drop off in itself for this year.
Wide receiver 12 overall. ADP.
Okay. So, and I think that's a steep drop off, in my opinion. You got him like the road runner Wile E. Coyote falling off the cliff and not coming back.
He gone.
All right.
All right. So next on your list, JSN at 17.
Yeah. Man.
I've got him at 12. He had a slow start in 24.
Mm-hmm.
6 of his first 7 games recorded under 55 yards. But he finished the season with 100 catches and 1,130 yards paired with 6 touchdowns. Sounds awful familiar to your Amon-Ra St. Brown numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure the QB play is going to be an upgrade with Darnold over Geno. I really don't know how the Darnold thing is going to pan out. Fair? But he is the man in 2025. He's got an aging Cooper Kupp who hasn't stayed healthy in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if JSN can have a full season of consistent quarterback play as the wide receiver 1, I think he's poised to take another step forward and push that low-end wide receiver 1 number at Cooper, wide receiver 12.
Okay. I like your argument, but I'm going to do you one better. New OC, new quarterback, and no DK Metcalf. Now we know JSN last year got all the targets from Geno Smith, and that's probably why DK is no longer in Seattle. He was not happy, and you can visibly see it in the games that JSN was getting all the touches. You're right. Had a strong second half of the year, 10 of targets. Again, new offensive coordinator, and from what I hear, they want to run the ball more than they did last year. This is a classic. Can the number 2 wide receiver become the number 1 wide receiver? And what history tells me, is that very rarely happens. I'm not saying it can't, but if we're doing history, if you look at number 2 receivers and teams have pushed them up to number 1, typically they have struggled in that role. Had a lot of catches, but only 5 touchdowns. To your point, Cooper Kupp, we don't know what we're going to get out of him, and we don't know what we're going to get out of Darnold. So I think he's the biggest question mark at wide receiver in 2025. I'm holding my water on JSN becoming a legit number 1 receiver. I'm not ready to anoint him that yet.
All right. Those are all fair points.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks around Seattle's offense.
Yeah, and those when they get answered, we will find out quickly what JSN is going to amount to.
All right. As we keep moving down the list of wide receivers, you've got Garrett Wilson at 18, Metcalf at 19, Devontae Adams 20, Cortland Sutton 21, DJ Moore 22. And the next big discrepancy for us, and I'm not sure if you just did update your rankings or what, but you got Scary Terry at 23, and I have him at 16.
Okay.
And I've always been a fan of Scary Terry.
That's your boy.
But he just re-signed a nice big contract last year. Saw a career low 117 targets that's the lowest since his rookie year. Year 2 with Jaden Daniels, year 2 with Cliff Kingsbury. And I understand Debo was brought in. I understand Debo is going to potentially take targets away. But in the same cases, Jamar and T, maybe it doesn't impact the number of targets. And maybe it helps because there's another threat in town. They can't he was the only threat last year. If anything, I think it hurts Ertz's target share.
Ertz is old. So, yeah, it does hurt his target share. I don't have any problem. Knowing that he got signed, I probably would bump him up a little bit, but not much. We're probably talking maybe a couple more spots. I don't think the Commanders are going to sneak up on anybody this year. I mean, people are going to be ready. They snuck up on a lot of people last year. I.e. the Bengals on Monday night. Nobody saw that coming. To your point, they have Deebo Samuel. I don't think teams are worried about him. He's a glorified running back that's playing receiver. I think all their concerns shift to Scary Terry, as well they should, because he's been the lead dog in that offense for many a year now. And he has Jaden Daniels, and his 117 targets, man, that's an awful lot. Do I see some regression in that? I do. I think teams will 100% focus on taking Scary Terry away. And for that reason alone, and them having not another compliment to Terry, I don't think Debo's a compliment to Terry McLaurin. I don't at all. I think he's more of a gadget. Hey, run it here, flip it here. He'll help Jaden Daniels out with his stats because they'll probably do a lot of swing passes and screens and things like that. But in terms of playing the receiver position, I don't think teams are scared of Debo. They weren't scared of him in San Francisco. He was just like a utility knife and did it all. So for that reason, essentially Scary Terry not having a number 2 solid, I think he will struggle in certain instances because teams will focus 100% on taking him away and giving Jaden Daniels other options to go to who are not as dangerous as Scary Terry. So it's a compliment in terms of his production and what he means to the team. That's why they needed to sign him. Without him, they're nothing.
So I think he gets an uptick in targets.
Oh, okay.
I think he's going to see a slight regression in his touchdowns because he had a pretty high number last year. And I think he keeps up a high efficiency still.
Fair enough.
So I think that's how he lands at a mid to high wide receiver 2.
Okay. I just have him on the lower rung of wide receiver 2. Again, probably would have bumped him up a little bit more, but I didn't want to make too many changes, so I kept it at 23.
So heading down the list, Zay Flowers at 24, George Pickens at 25, Devonta Smith at 26, Xavier Worthy at 27, and then you've got T-Mac at 28. I've got him up at 23. I mean, this guy, he's interesting.
Very.
He flashed in college. He comes with first-round draft capital. That's the big kicker right there. He's entering into an offense that hasn't had a true wide receiver 1 for years. Bryce Young started to play last year, second half of the season after he got benched.
We talked
about that. He's got Dave Canales. I don't know if you know Dave Canales or not, but he developed wide receivers that you might recognize in Mike Evans, DK Metcalf. Did I mention that T-Mac has drawn physical frame comparisons to Mike Evans.
I think I mentioned that, but keep
Did
going.
you? Okay, yeah. But he's also explosive and has shown a great ability to make contested catches. They just sent away Thielen, right? 36 years old. He averaged 7.6 targets over the last 6 games of the season last year with Bryce Young. All of those targets are now available. They've already made it clear that he's the wide receiver 1 this preseason. Panthers last year were below average in pass attempts in 2024, but not because they didn't pass, but because they ran the 10th fewest plays. T-Mac's a reliable target hog with a big frame. He's going to get a ton of red zone targets for Carolina.
Fair enough. I like everything about him. My only concern is that he is a rookie, and he's going to be the focal point of an offense that, as much as we like Bryce Young and we think he's going to step up this year, it was a small sample size last year. Now everybody's gunning for him. Like everybody's okay. Well, Bryce Young, we know he can play now. We're not, before it was like, we don't know if this guy can play. Now they're going to game plan around Bryce Young, and then for T-Mac, who else is there? Tell me, who are the other receivers?
We got Leggett.
Oh, come on. I got your Leggett. Yeah. Leggett out of here with that. That's great. Leggett. Is that the best we can do? And again, I don't think you're such an offensive guy. It drives me nuts sometimes. You got to realize, bro, that there are defensive people out there that are going to game plan around this kid. He's a rookie. They're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at him. And Bryce Young. And I'm not sure that he'll be able to handle that initially. I think the second half of the season is where he takes off. So that's why I have him a slightly lower than where you have him. I think he's going to struggle the first. And again, he played at Arizona, so he wasn't necessarily playing world beaters. Like, the competition wasn't great. And doesn't he have some type of hamstring issue? Don't we have some more soft tissue issues going on here? Right? He's hurt. He didn't play.
I might have chose to ignore that. I'm not sure. I don't think I saw it.
Okay. I know I watched a couple of Carolina games and he wasn't playing after the first one. A little hamstring tightness. So again, if we're going to go through soft tissue injuries with all of our guys, we got to bring it up. Do I think he'll be good? Yes, but I think he'll go through this rookie struggle in terms of being a number 1. That's a lot to ask for a rookie. It's a lot. And I'm not saying he won't be able to perform, but man, you're asking this guy to be the focal point of your team with still a young quarterback and not anything around him. Whoo, that's asking a lot. I'm not saying he can't do it, but I don't think immediately he will pay dividends. I think down the line, towards the end of the year, he will start to show up. And man, he's going to have a big learning curve. And it's preseason is different than the regular season. That's what
we will see.
We will see.
Week 1's right around the corner.
I drafted him in a couple of my leagues, so I'm high on him. When you don't have any other weapons, the game plan becomes easy. Shut it down. Like, for example, you can't, with the Bengals, they've got so many weapons, you can't. I know, extreme case, but Carolina, we think Bryce Young is going to be good, but we don't know. We think this kid is going to be good, but he's a rookie being asked to step up to a number 1 receiver role in the NFL in his first year. A lot to ask. A lot.
Ready for some tight end action?
Oh, yeah. The most disappointing position in 2024, without question. Without question.
All right, let's roll. Our first 5, we are almost perfectly in sync with Bowers, McBride, Kittle, Laporta, and Hockenson.
Hawk.
At number 6, you've got Mr. Swift himself.
I do. Can you believe that?
No.
Okay.
I've got him at 9, and I struggled to keep him inside the top 12.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, come on. Thinking about what happened last year with tight ends. I mean, they didn't endear themselves to any fantasy owner until later in the year. Yes, Blake, you are right. I have Mr. Swift at number 6, and I'm going to tell you why. You guys know I'm not the biggest Travis Kelce fan, but I do respect him. He finished tight end number 6 last year, 2024, on a down year for tight ends. And he had a down year himself. He did have 133 targets in 2024, but his numbers have gone down the last 3 years. Here is why I have him at my tight end number 6 this year. No way does Travis Kelce score only 2 touchdowns in 2025. I just can't see how that happens. I just can't. With Rasheed Rice being suspended, the Chiefs will lean on Kelsey big time early in the season. I still believe that him and Mahomes still have this rapport. If you watch Chiefs Kingdom, you can. I mean, it was very evident. And lastly, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, so this is not breaking news, folks. So don't go spreading rumors. I think he retires after this year. So I think he gives it one more go. I think he steps up. It helps the Chiefs get to the playoffs. I don't think they go to the Super Bowl, but I think his stat line goes up. I think his touchdowns go up. I think his yardage goes up. Again, even when Rasheed Rice comes back, I still think he's always been the focal point of the offense. And I get he's older. You're older, maybe slower, but something tells me that this will be it for him, and he'll go out with a bang.
You know, the Chiefs didn't have Rice last year, right?
I get it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And only one tight end at 36 or older has ever eclipsed 90 catches.
Right. What tight end was that?
Tony Gonzalez.
Who did he play for?
Chiefs?
Okay.
Maybe was he with the Chiefs in 2012?
I don't know.
No, it was Atlanta.
Okay. You sure?
Pretty sure.
All right. Fair enough.
That's where he ended his career.
All right. Yep. You're right.
And like you said, over the last 3 years, he's declined, brother. Yards per route run and yards after the catch. Still a tight end 1, but ADP a tight end 5. Way too rich for my blood.
What about 6?
Get out of here. No.
What about 6?
Nope.
Okay. We'll see. Well, we got a lot of this is great. This is probably last year's rankings, man. They don't compare to this year's. We got some major stat watching and team watching this year. Can't wait.
Next up, Tyler Warren. We're both right there at 7. Mm-hmm. Mark Andrews at 8. You are still a believer in Mark Andrews.
I am.
I got him at 12.
Ooh.
After everything he did to all of us last year.
What? Okay. Well, name a tight end that didn't do anything to anybody. Maybe McBride. Maybe McBride and Bowers. Okay, 3 guys.
McBride.
I mean, how many leagues you're in? If you're a 10-team league, you got to pick a tight end. So you're taking 3. There's still others. Kincaid, man. I mean, we can
70% chance.
Right.
Bust.
70% chance. Yep. I think we forgot about Mark Andrews, Blake. I really did. Over the past several years, he's been a perennial top 5. Don't shake your head. Top 5 tight end. And as bad as the tight end position was last year, Andrews still managed to score 11 touchdowns, despite, and you're going to get into this, averaging only 3.2 catches a game. Do we think this is the beginning of the end for Mr. Andrews, a la Tyreek Hill? Not so fast, my friend. Shout out to Lee Corso. Last game tomorrow. Had to get that in. Remember, Fanatics, Isaiah Likely is dealing with a foot injury. Not sure on the timetable he comes back. And also remember, who is Lamar's favorite target? It's always been Mark Andrews. And I don't think that changes this year. At an ADP of number 12, and I have him at number 8, I think he could be a steal.
I like the ADP at 12.
I know you
got him ranked. That's a sweet spot.
I think he's higher than that.
But if someone has ever been touchdown dependent, it's this guy.
Yep.
And it's not sustainable. He is going to be boom or bust. End of story. There's no way he ends up at tight end 8. And if he does, the tight end position has to be awful this year.
Okay.
So there's a way that it could happen.
There's always a way.
It's a stretch, though, brother.
All right. You see a lot of regression in a lot of people. I'm going to get you a shirt that just says regression. And just put ...
A regression hat with a Sunday Funday Guys logo right here.
Mr. Regression.
That's right.
There we go. All right.
So as we keep moving, you got Kyle Pitts at 9. Then you got Njoku at 10. And, man, I cut that in half. I've got Njoku at 5. Last year, the Browns ranked 5th in pass attempts with a 65% pass rate under Ken Dorsey. Their run game has not been improved year over year, so I don't see those metrics changing. To add to that, the Browns returned their entire starting offensive line, who was ranked 10th in pass protection last year. Quarterback play, has it improved? With Flacco, I might say we might be cooking with a little bit of fire for part of the year. If Njoku can stay healthy, he's going to run a lot of routes. I want to hear it. If he can stay healthy, he's going to run a lot of routes, get a lot of targets, and score a lot of touchdowns. Last year with Winston, averaged 10.3 targets per game and scored 5 touchdowns in a 7-game stretch with Winston. Okay. With Flacco as the starter this year, let's take a little time travel back to 2023, shall we?
Sure.
He scored at least 16 points in four of the 5 games that Flacco started and averaged 18 plus PPR points per game during that time frame. Now guess who his starting quarterback is? The ancient Joe Flacco.
Right. You bring up a good point. Ancient. Is he going to last the whole year? That's one. Is Njoku going to last the whole year? These are all question marks. I mean, if he can stay healthy, does he warrant top 5 status as a tight end? Yes, but he's proven he can't stay healthy. He's missed games here. He's missed games there. Flacco likes to get the ball down the field, but he also likes to throw the tight ends. I'll give you that. But how long is Flacco going to play? And if he yields the starting position, is that Dillon Gabriel? Are we really thinking Njoku's going to do anything with Dillon Gabriel? Man, you're putting a lot of stock in the Cleveland Browns quarterback who's almost as old as I am.
But you know those old and young quarterbacks like to dump it down. Safety valve.
I get that. I get that. But
do you?
I can't. He needs to stay healthy. Bottom line. If he stays healthy, then I guess you can say that about anybody, but I need to see it. I need to see it.
All right.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not so again. I'm just not sold on Cleveland and what they're doing up there. He is definitely their top target, but number 5, that's high. I would even bump mine up to 8, but I wouldn't bump it up to 5. No way.
I just don't think I don't have much room to move. I mean, you got TJ Hawkinson at 6 for me.
Right, I get it. Yeah.
Too many weapons there, especially with the addition of Thielen now. Now you got 3 wide receivers. Even though he's aging, they brought him back.
Right. That changes a little bit for Hawkinson. I agree with that.
You got Warren at 8.
Yeah, my guy.
I'm too concerned about what's going to happen in Indy.
Quarterback?
And all across the board.
Okay.
He's a rookie tight end. Who knows? Then you've got Evan Ingram, which is our next point of discussion. You've got him at 11, and I've got him at 7. I mean, I can't jump him up any higher.
I get it.
He's got too many injury concerns. But the Broncos did go out and sign him.
They did.
2 years, $23 million. That's a big number. He's joining a Sean Payton system that's always been tight end friendly. And I see memories of Jimmy Graham.
Ooh.
If Ingram can stay on the field, he's got potential to be the top 5 tight end.
If. That is the biggest if. I mean, that if you can't. That's like an if in like bold, underline, and like 55 font. If he can stay healthy. Listen, I love Evan Ingram. Always been a fan of him, but he again, these guys aren't going to do you any good in fantasy if they're not on the field. And he has the size and speed to be a great tight end. It's always been about his health. When he plays, he's a monster. And with Sean Payton, he could be a monster. But again, can he stay healthy? I have here, he could be a top 5 tight end. But if he can't stay healthy, he is almost irrelevant. I mean, look at the year he had in Jacksonville a couple years ago. And then he comes back and he gets hurt. Man, and when you're talking fantasy, man, that fluctuation, that can end up costing you a playoff berth when you get down to it. It's crazy.
Depending on how you take him.
Depending on how you take him. I have him at 11. I would honestly, I wanted to bump him up, but I just like your concerns about Tyreek, those are my concerns about Evan Ingram and Njoku. Like those are like the mass units of tight ends. They are, but healthy. I get it. I get why you have them up high. You're banking on their staying healthy, just like I'm banking on Mr. Achane and staying healthy and a couple other guys that I talked about. Tyreek Hill, and you're banking on Neighbors. He's hurt. He's hurt.
All right, next in line, we got Jake Ferguson at 12. And then the last point of contention, Tucker Kraft at 13. I've got him at 10. He had a great year in 24. Very
Great.
boom or bust.
Great.
He had a great year in 2024. Big plays, big weeks. But he was kind of boom or bust. I'm big on Kraft this year due to the question marks around the receivers in Green Bay. So when there's question marks, when there's uncertainty, you're going to go to where your comfort zone is. He is the only piece that's been consistent the past 2 years with Love. We discussed yesterday how we think Love is going to make a return back to 2023 form, throw the rock around a bit more in a Matt LaFleur offense.
Right.
In 24, Kraft only had 70 targets. And with this chemistry that he's established with Love, an increase in targets increases the odds of his touchdowns bumping up to maybe 10 in 25, which in case would far exceed my projection of tight end 10 overall.
Wait, so you're telling me you're funny.
Yeah.
You're telling me he's going to have more than 70 targets this year?
Yeah. He only had 70 last year.
I get that. So what are we talking? 80, 90?
I don't have my numbers in front of me.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm just if you're saying he's going to have over 70, what's 80? I mean,
he's going to exceed 70.
Okay. What's the number? Is it 80 and 90? He's not going to go over 100 targets.
No, he's not going to break 100. He's probably pushing 85.
Okay, so 15 more targets. With all those receivers and a quarterback that wants to get the ball out to receivers, and your running back can catch the ball too.
Who? Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, Josh Jacobs can catch the ball out of the backfield. Are you kidding me? He's a great receiver out of the backfield. Come on, man. So you're telling me Tucker Kraft is going to have more than 70 targets this year with all those wide receivers Green Bay
can't
has.
Stay healthy and on the field. Yes.
Okay.
They're all 4 banged up already, except for Golden.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what for Green Bay to be explosive, Tucker Kraft does not factor into their explosiveness. Does he keep the chains moving? Of course. But these guys, again, you don't have all these receivers, and I get that they're hurt, but you don't have all these receivers unless you want to dink and dunk to the tight end. You just don't. That's not part of their game plan.
His touchdowns last year were explosive. He was the only piece of explosion in their offense last year.
And what happened? How good was that offense last year, other than Jacobs?
He was pretty good.
No, he was at his position.
I thought that's what we were talking about, where we're going to rank Tucker Kraft.
but the team in general, if you're dependent on Tucker Kraft as a Green Bay Packer, you got
that chemistry. Okay. He's going to build on it.
70 touches is a lot for Tucker Kraft. He ought to be
targets. I said not catches, targets.
Okay, targets. That's a lot for Tucker Kraft. That's.
He's going to push 85 targets. He's going to push 10 touchdowns, and he's going to push and exceed tight end. He's going to be a tight end 1. What are we doing here? I'm
gonna put a big red old circle around this one. This one might be the juiciest of all time. I mean, you're hitching your wagon to Tucker Kraft
as my tight end 10. You are correct.
All right. Okay. All right. Hey, before we get to the other matters on the podcast, I do. Oh,
you did. You got it. That's cute. I'm gonna have that next year.
If you're lucky. I mean, look how shiny that thing is, Blake. Woo. It's just like when you blow on it, just steam pops right off on it. Look at, I mean, 3 times.
Does that get passed around, or is that one you get to keep?
No, it gets passed around as well. It should.
So Karande has never.
No, he's never he never hosted the championship belt.
Has he ever held it?
Well, yeah, I let him hold it, but when you're champ,
that's nice of you.
When you're the champ, you kind of.
We should give him a shout out.
Karande, one day, buddy, you'll win it. He's probably cussing me out right now, but when you're the champ, they hate you, Blake. They hate it when you're on top, buddy. They hate it when you're on top.
It's fast. All right, Jason, what's next?
Week number 1. So we've gone through, we've given you a bunch of content over the last, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, a bunch, more than we've ever had in our short-lived history of the Sunday Funday guys. But next week, we get back to basics. We give you who we think is going to ball out, who we think may struggle, survivor picks, our Sunday six-pack. Woo, we're betting again. That was pretty good. That's a pretty good soundbite. We're betting again. We got all kinds of stuff ready for you fanatics to get you started for week 1. Starting next Thursday, a week from tonight, we kick it off with the Cowboys, sans Micah Parsons, and the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles. Going to be a heck of a matchup. And then Friday, you got, I believe, the Chiefs and the Chargers. We get to see that offense you're talking about right off the rip. I can't wait. In Brazil.
Oh,
Got a lot going on. Yeah. Anything to add?
No, that's awesome.
right.
We're ready to roll. I'll get a document built, shared to the folks. Hopefully it helps with drafts this weekend, and
Perfect.
make sure
Well,
Jax prints mine.
You just won't let it go, will you?
I just want him to win, dude. I just care.
You're good. That was a good one. That was touche. Tell Braxton I'm on board with his team. We're ready to roll.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, fanatics, that's a wrap of this edition of the Sunday Funday Guys Fantasy Football Podcast. And remember, fanatics, make this Sunday your fun day. Sunday Funday Guys out.